Hey guys, this is Jella and welcome back to my channel. We are now part 12 in our Korean town series where we will be making the interior of this apartment building and also make a small bakery beside the barbecue grill restaurant. If you want to build this too, then keep on watching. So for our part 12, we will continue this apartment building and make one interior room. Because we are still halfway in our town and I'm saving the plot data usage, I will only be making the top floor apartment room. Originally, this building was not supposed to be an apartment. But because it was in the middle block, this was a great opportunity to have a nice view of the front main road and the backside, which will be the neighborhood houses. So I colored the window blinds of this apartment room in the second level to a light yellow or beige color, so it would look like someone is living here, but the windows are closed. I won't be making even the empty layout as this would just add up to the plot data. So we will really leave this apartment empty. What we will be doing for this interior part is the apartment on the third level. I deleted the floor we have before and placed the same floor texture we have from the staircase and hallway. Now make the floor texture different for the entryway and bathroom. We will make the floors different to make a separation. I didn't make an elevation as opposed to how some apartment rooms in Korea would be, but I added a plain fence marking to have the separation mark. This 2x2 square by the entrance door is the bathroom, and then we will add a 2x3 small bedroom on the left corner side. Since this is just a long, narrow apartment, I decided to just make one whole apartment for each floor level. If I would have some plot data left, I plan on making other apartments beside this building. Now the middle space between the bathroom and bedroom would be the living area with a small balcony. I will delete the slanted roof we added for the barbecue grill restaurant so we can add a balcony space for the second level. Now the slanted roof for the back side of the restaurant will just be shortened. The fence railing that I added for the balcony will be recolored later to the same color and texture of the exterior wall. I used the glass sliding door for the balcony. And then for our small living area, we will use this contemporary sofa. This is probably my most favorite double sofa chair to use in Bloxburg. I just love the structure and how it isn't bulky looking, but still comfy to use. And then I added this wave console table, which is perfect for our small living space. As I was trying to add the interior, I was thinking of what the owner of this apartment would like this decorated. So the owner is probably a college student who maybe works part-time. She is a soft girly who loves pastel spring to summer colors, so this apartment would have a lot of light yellow shade. She lives alone and likes the aesthetic minimalist vibe, so we will try our best not to clutter up this apartment. I do have a reason for not cluttering up, so we can actually save a bit plot data. Because the apartment layout is long and narrow style, we will have the kitchen by the end back. As much as I wanted to have the kitchen by the entrance, I didn't want the apartment to feel crowded and small, so by making an L-shaped small kitchen near the bedroom door, we have quite a great amount of space. Most Korean apartments have a small counter area with electric stove and sink on the side. So I decided that the electric stove be on the back wall so we can add a range hood. I added a quarter fence to end the kitchen counter area and then place a horizontal plank to make a built-in breakfast counter. We don't have a big space, but doing this made the middle section of the apartment very spacious. As for the kitchen counters, I just colored this to white because this is the basic kitchen apartment look. I will also change the overhead cabinets to a tall shaker cabinet, so save your money and don't buy the small ones. As for the breakfast counter, I wanted the wood to be light, so I chose linen. So since the owner is living alone, she probably eats not just breakfast in here. And if she has friends to come over, at least the sofa is just beside. There's a space over here, so I'm just adding a vacuum cleaner since the person living here probably loves to keep her apartment clean. Okay, now we are going to the bathroom, and I just made the wall tiles the same as the floor, except the wall with the doorway. Since this is just a small 2x2 bathroom, we will just add a shower area. The original layout of this Korean town would have a public sauna since this is more common in Korea to go to bathhouses. So I didn't add a tub in the bathroom. Well, I actually wanted the bathroom to be small since not all apartment bathrooms in Korea are spacious. I also added a shaker counter and placed an elegant sink. You can add a simple mirror, but I will use this backlit mirror. Now place the toilet bowl on the side wall of the door. Feel free to use whichever bowl you like, but this is my favorite to use. Don't forget to add the toilet paper on the side. I'm also adding a few bathroom clutter so the sink doesn't look very empty. a soap bottle in there, and my favorite table plant to use. We're gonna add a small window for ventilation. Now copy the windows to the bedroom as well, and then place the windows the same on the second level even though it is empty. Let's move to the bedroom, and we will be using this wooden palette as the bed frame. A lot of the aesthetic minimalist Korean bedroom design uses this wooden palette. So we are going for this minimalist design, and then I will be adding a plain foam mattress. I'm gonna color the wooden palette to cashmere to give it a light wood shade, and then the mattress to institutional white. And then you can fill this bed with lots of pillow. You can also adjust the angle of the pillow without buying the transform tool Gamepass for free, but just on pillows and blankets. Now I'm gonna color the pillows to spring colors like pastel yellow and light shades of green. I love using this grime color like leaves in the garden. Now for the blanket, I used this comfy looking one and then resized it so we can place this blanket on the bottom side of the bed. I'm gonna color this to a pastel yellow as well. Since we only have a small bedroom, I'm just gonna add this open wardrobe cabinet on this side and make the cabinet to plain white. Then we will add a full-length mirror beside it. I'm also gonna add a string lights with photos on the side wall. I won't be adding any windows on this side, so I will be adding overhead cabinets instead of an empty wall space above. And to add some realism to the apartment, we will add light switches beside the door of the bedroom, entrance door, and bathroom. I'm also gonna add some electrical outlets near the TV and some other areas as well. This is what I mentioned earlier, that I will be changing the overhead cabinets to tall shaker ones. And since there is no space for the microwave shelf, I changed the counter so that we can place the microwave over here instead. I'm just gonna add a coffee machine, but not much appliances since the owner of this apartment just moved in and is still keeping her space minimal so far. I made this counter empty, so this can be the prepping counter. But I'm just gonna add a table plant by the corner. I'll try to add a few kitchen clutters, but feel free to add whichever you like.
요새 너 조금 이상해졌어. 자꾸만 시도 때도 없이 시무룩하고 고민이 생겼니? 초등학교 영어 수업 시간에 배웠었던 현재 진행형 같아. 하루에 10번 내 맘이 움직여. 이상하고 아름다운 느낌이 좋아. 걱정되고.
Okay, moving to the living room. Since we only have a small space, I'm just adding a floating shelf storage in here. Let's add this spiky plant on the side, and then I'll add a photo frame which I'm gonna resize to make it bigger. Then I colored the frame to wooden brown. I'm just gonna add a wall clock on the wall behind the TV, and then add some few clutters by the entryway.
싶은 이런 기분은 현재 진행형. 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어. 어쩌다 우리 여기까지 알 수 없는 잉잉잉 잉잉잉 잉잉잉. 비동사 플러스 ing LOV를 붙여보면 사랑인 것 같고 say goodbye를 붙여보면 헤어질 것 같아서 ing just ing.
I'm just adding some hanged clothes on the balcony to make this apartment look lived in. Make sure to color the ceiling to plain white, and then we will add some lightings. I'm gonna use the sleek ceiling light and color the bulb to shades of yellow to have a warmer tone.
내 맘은 아직 ing. 좋아한다고 보고 싶다고 그 말을 왜 못하니. 후회할까봐 아파할까봐 망설이는 걸. 너의 현재 진행형. 사실은 나도 뭐가 뭔지 잘 모르겠어. 어쩌다 우리 여기까지 알 수 없는
Okay, now I'm adding some ceiling trims all around the apartment and on the bedroom. I will change the color of the balcony railing the same as the exterior walls because the plain white fence doesn't match the overall vibe of the building. I also copied the air conditioner from the other building that we made from part 2 of the series and placed that in between the windows of the living area and kitchen and on the bedroom.
비동사 플러스 ing LOV를 붙여보면 사랑인 것 같고 say goodbye를 붙여보면 헤어질 것 같아서
We don't have enough lighting on the hallways and staircase, so I just copied the sleek ceiling light and place it on each level so that our apartment doesn't look dark. I also changed the color of the staircase railing the same as the wall color because the dark gray color gives off a very heavy scheme and we want this apartment to look light colored. I haven't made another decal signage for the apartment, so I will just copy the one I made from the first building. So just add a horizontal plank where we will place the basic shape and logo. Then color the plank to match the signage. Going back to the 3rd floor apartment, I'm gonna add lowered ceiling by the entryway since most of the apartments have this in each flat. Since we don't have a transform tool, I'm doing this the cheapest way by using a shelf and carpet. Now place the carpet on the shelf and make sure it is the right height to place the lowered ceiling. Now remove the shelf and add a basic cube, which we will resize to fit in this 2x2 square. Color the lowered ceiling the same as the wall and then move the carpet or storage if you want to reuse, or you can delete if not. I'm just gonna use this carpet but resize this to fit our small living room. I'm gonna color this to a pastel yellow as well since this is the vibe of the apartment. To add more realism to our apartment, I'm gonna add a structural item, which is the ordinary string, and this will be the electrical power cord for the air conditioner and the TV. The hanging coat by the door is too dark for my liking, so I recolored this to a shade of green. Don't forget to add a trash bin on the living room and bathroom. Okay, I think that is the apartment and we will move to the small shop below. Now I just copy the logo frame and then change the decal for the shop. That way we can save time resizing it. I didn't copy the basic shape for the shop signage so we can lessen the plot data. And as you can tell by our logo, this will be a small bakery or pastry shop. I wanted to make one of those delicious pastries I've seen in Seoul. So I baked a lot of pastries that I will be using and placed them on a table for easy placement. This took a lot of time since baking takes some prepping time, and then you wait for the bread and cakes to bake. I made a small kitchen at the back wall with just the essentials like the fridge, stove, and then a counter for the washing area. I used plain counters for the cash register and display counters. We will place 2 display counter by the window where we will make a custom shelf for our pastries. Place a basic cube on the corner and resize this as the shelf wall. Now we will add a horizontal plank and use this as the layers for the shelf. I'm gonna add 3 layers of the horizontal plank and make sure to rescale the length and thickness first before duplicating the plank to save a few money. Now move the basic shape we have on the sides and resize this to fit the shelf height and width. Okay, now add a kitchen sink on the back counter. We don't have a lot of prepping area, so maybe the owner uses this front counter for prepping since after all the mess and cleanup, they can use this for display counter once the bakery is open. Well, as much as I want to add a lot of prepping counters, our bakery is quite small, and I still want to have a decent amount of space for customers going inside. Anyways, I made the flooring to dark brown wood texture, and then for the counters, I also used the wooden texture, but leave the base counter to light gray. I also colored the custom display shelf we made with the wooden brown texture. And then just color the appliances to your liking. As for the kitchen wall, I used this ceramic heart tiles because it is too cute to use for a bakery. I colored the other walls plain light stone gray but place a short wall molding which I made the texture of the bottom to ceramic heart tiles and the lining to wooden brown. Then add a flat crown molding and color this to wooden brown as well. Now for the lighting, I'm gonna use this traditional pendant light and place 2 in our front counter. If it is too bright, adjust 1 bulb of the pendant light. For our pastries, I measured the custom shelf on how many trays we can place on each layer. I'm gonna use this placemat and color this dark gray with metal texture to look like a tray. We can fit 4 trays in our custom shelf, and then 3 trays in the front counter. Again, I'm just gonna use the custom cash register we have from the other shops, but if you have your own cash register that costs Bloxburg, feel free to use that. Keep in mind that if you add Bloxburg's worth of item, it would make the plot value more expensive than without those Bloxburg items. Anyways, I already placed down the breads and pastries that I will be displaying. Feel free to copy the pastries that I will add so it would look more uniformed. If you noticed, I already placed them on the table so it would be easier to place one by one later. I'm gonna make some custom mini cakes using the small box. For our first mini cake, we will make a chocolate-flavored cake. If you see, I already placed down some chocolates from the chocolate box in Quick Meals. I grabbed 3 different pieces of chocolates and place one type in each mini cake. Now just duplicate 2 more of the mini cake and place down the chocolate pieces the same order as the first cake we made. For the second cake, I'm gonna use this round log and resize this to make a small round cake. I will be doing a chocolate strawberry flavored cake. You can get this chocolate-coated strawberry in the Quick Meals and place 6 pieces on the table. Now add another layer of the round cake and then place 1 strawberry in the middle. Using the largest grid line, place the third round cake on top. Now we covered the paper in the middle. Since we have 6 strawberries, I will be doing 6 mini round cakes. But I will be recoloring the other 3 later by the end of the video to make it a strawberry cheesecake. I'm gonna place this custom mini cakes we made in our front display case. I wanted to showcase this very aesthetic and cute mini cakes in front, as this is the special cakes offered by the bakery. So here I am making another 3 mini round strawberry cakes, which I will be changing later into cheesecakes. Okay, for our third custom cake, I'm gonna make a small round kiwi lime cake. Just the same way as we did with the chocolate strawberry, but using the kiwi as the topping. I tried coloring the paper from the kiwi fruit, but you cannot change the texture, so I will just make the top layer to plain wheat color to match our lime cake. And then the middle layer of the cake will be kiwi flavored. Since the kiwi sliced fruit is kinda small, I'm gonna place 2 pieces of the kiwi as toppings for the round cake. We only have 6 pieces of the kiwi, so I can make 3 mini round cakes. But if you want to make more or with a different flavor, you can get this fruit slices in Quick Meals. I'm gonna leave the front display counter for now since I will get some more fruit slice later. But let's start adding pastries in the custom shelf by the window. So we can first 4 trays per level. The first one we will add this plate of baklava. I just colored the plates the same as the tray so that it would match. And then I bought 3 different types of pretzels, but since we have more space on the tray, I will be buying 3 more to fill in 6 pieces of pretzels in each tray. You can buy this at the cinema or buy a pretzel machine. I moved the baklava tray on the second layer, so I can place down the more flatbreads on the bottom layer shelf. Because the higher shelf we have, the lesser we see when we walk inside the bakery. So I wanted to have the muffins and cupcakes on the highest part of the shelf. And since this fairy bread is flat, I moved it on the bottom as well. Now time for our cupcakes to be placed on the trays. We have a lot of cupcakes in game, like this red velvet flavored cupcake, which I placed on the top shelf. And then the chocolate cupcake. You only need to bake 1 plate of the red velvet and chocolate cupcake to place 6 pieces on the tray. And then for the birthday cupcakes, you can color the frosting to the flavor you like. I think I baked 3 plates of the birthday cupcakes since this is smaller than the regular cupcakes in game. So I added 9 pieces of the smaller cupcakes per tray and then made the other 1 strawberry flavored. Now that the top shelf is full, we will just place this blueberry muffins in the middle shelf. I baked 2 plates, but will only use 1 plate for the tray, and then I will use the other full plate for display later. I also cooked 2 plates of mandatsi since it looks like sugar-coated bread. And then vada pav on the last tray for more variety of bread display. These are not Korean breads, but I just wanted to make it look like this bakery has a lot of different breads and pastries to choose from. I placed the plate of muffin left on the cake tray for display. And then I will move the loaf of breads we baked. I love how this 2 whole breads look like. So I will be placing this by the shelf on the kitchen. Now we will be adding this floating shelf beside our display shelf. I'm gonna resize this a bit forward so we can place the trays for the customers to use when they get the pastry and bread they will buy. And then get a flat iron hair straightener and color this to metal gray. This will be our bread tongs. We don't have one in game, so I always use this on some of my shops like the GS25 and other bakery before. I added a sleek ceiling light by the entrance door since the shop is not that bright with just the pendant light from the cash register. Anyways, I copied the brown bag and placed a few on the top shelf. And then I colored the side walls of the bakery to beige so it would match the color of the bakery signage. I'm gonna add some paintings on the wall since it is too empty. All the decals I will use will just be from the free images when you search for pastries. The only decal that I made was the bakery signage. Anyways, I'm also adding the floor menu board by the entrance door since this is most likely for bakeries and pastry shops. I'm just adding some few kitchen clutters since we can't leave this kitchen side empty. So feel free to add whichever you like, but also keep in mind the plot data. Okay, back to the front display counter. I mentioned earlier that I will be adding another 3 mini round cakes, and this time we will make an orange chocolate flavored cake. I haven't tried one, but I guess it is sweet with a little bit of acid from the tangy orange. Maybe like a lime cake. But anyways, I colored the middle layer to orange so you can see the filling perhaps. Once you've finished one set of the round cake, duplicate this into 2 more so we can have 3 mini round cakes to display beside our kiwi lime cake. I'm gonna make this 3 round cakes into strawberry cheesecake so we have more variety of flavors. Our cake display is looking so cute. I love how all this mini cake looks like. Anyways, I moved the floor menu board to the left so we can place one outdoor table for some customers who like to eat outside their freshly baked pastries. And we are done. So our total plot value right now is $545,060. And we finished this whole building in the middle block. We made the interior of the apartment on the 3rd floor and this cute bakery. So first, let's tour the apartment building. We have the mailboxes over here for the tenants. And yeah, nothing much in here since we keep this building really empty looking. This room is empty. I didn't even make the layout of the apartment to make it a free room, so let's just keep it close. But you can see the view in front, which is super nice, and also we have the back, but it is empty for now. I only made one interior in this building because I'm scared to add more since we have a limited plot data and we are still halfway in our town. So this is the apartment 301, which I forgot to add a room number. We have quite a decent entryway for the shoes and maybe some other clutters that the owner can place down. So maybe the owner still hasn't bought a shoe rack, so her shoe's still on the side. Anyways, we have curtains around the apartment for privacy. Then we have the bathroom over here. It is a 2x2 bathroom, not too small since we can move around, but it doesn't have a tub. I mean, most apartment bathrooms in Southeast Asia are kinda small. So this is big enough for one person living here. Over this side is the living room or living area since it's not really a big room. Even with a small space, I think it looks comfy enough. We have a small balcony to the left which you can hang your clothes outside or place a small coffee table and just chill maybe. The back side is still empty, but there will be a small neighborhood over there. This is a breakfast counter connecting the kitchen, which is perfect for quick meals. I mean, if I were the person living alone here, I'd just eat on the living room. Anyways, this is the kitchen, very clean and basic. Just how the usual Korean apartments with plain white kitchen counters and cabinets. We have the essential appliances like the fridge, electric stove, and microwave in here. And the best part is that the kitchen sink has a large window with a view from all the shops across the main road. I love how this apartment is also very accessible to restaurants and other shops. Lastly, we have the bedroom, and it is just a 2x3 small bedroom. But still perfect for one person living here. We have the cabinet and full-length mirror on the side. The bed is very comfy and has this Korean aesthetic minimalist bed design with wooden pallet. You can close the curtains for privacy, but yeah, this room is just cute size. So yeah, that is the apartment 301. Now let's go downstairs so I can show you guys the finished bakery. So here is the outside of our small bakery. We have an outdoor table and wow, can see the pastries on the window, which is what I love. Now, let's go inside the bakery and this is how it looks like. This is a small bakery shop. We have the cash register in front and a few special pastries on the side. Every pastry and bread looks so good and it is making me so hungry, like I want to eat this right now. We have the cupcakes and muffins with different flavors. Some sugar-coated bread, puff pastry, pretzels with different flavors as well. I personally would get the chocolate pretzel and blueberry muffin. If this is an unlimited bake shop, they would probably run out of pastry by half an hour. Here in front we have the special fruit cakes, strawberry cheesecake, strawberry chocolate round cake, and triple chocolate cake. So after they get the pastries and place it on the tray, they will line up and pay over here. We have more freshly baked breads on the shelf which customers can also buy. So yeah, this is the small bakery in our Korean town. Anyways, that is the end of part 12 in our Korean town series. Thank you guys for watching. I would appreciate your support by giving this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also click on the notification bell so you won't miss the latest videos I upload. Help me reach my goal of 10,000 subs. This would help me a lot, especially in making future videos for you all. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, or night. Love you all and take care. See you guys on my next video.